Okay, we'll start this over again. There was a little rap stop, and it's Chai Shavat Tafshin Pei Gimel, and it's Erev Shabbos, and it's a Sham, and yesterday was Yud Zayin Shvat, and it was the yahrzeit of one of my dearest Rabbeim, Dr. Rabbi Avram Yeshua Heschel Tversky, who was named Avram Yeshua Heschel after the Abda Rebbe, and he was the son of Yaakov Yisrael, who also knew I knew Hashem, and he gave me direction to come into Eretz Yisrael first of all. So anyway, I consider one of my Rebbeim, and I hope that he considered me one of his Talmidim. We had a warm relationship. Okay, so the Zera Shimshon in Parshat Yitro goes through an interesting selection, because in the Luchais, the half were of the Aseret Dibros were on one side of the Luchais, and the other half were on the other side of the Luchais. So, and on the Meforshim compared them one to another. So, just like Loi Anechi Hashem Alekecho is parallel to Loi Sirtzach, don't kill, and also as we go along we see that Loi Yelecha is opposite Loi Sinaf, not to commit adultery, and Loi Sisa is comparable to Loi Signaiv, and not to steal or not to do kidnapping actually, and the Zachar. That's what we're going to talk about. It's in Kapitel Chaf Hey. Zohar is the opposite of Lo Sa'aneh. Don't answer your friend falsely. So it says the Gemara, Hashabbos hi ois bein Kadosh Baruch Hu bein Yisrael. V'she'eris Yisrael lo yirdabru chazav. So the Shabbos is a sign between Kadosh Baruch Hu, and it's a covenant between us and Kadosh Baruch Hu. And Shabbos is also a Shiris Yisrael Lo Yidaber Chazav. The remainder of the Jewish people don't speak falsly. Shabbos hi Zecher Labriya Sa'olam Shenivra B'Maimer. Shabbos is a reminder to the creation of the world that was created with a word, right? Midvar Shem Nasu Shmei words. Omi Shemedaber Sheker. So somebody who speaks falsehood, Poigim B'Maimer B'Apiv. He actually blemishes his mouth. V'Ha'emes Mekayim Ha'olam Ha'Sheker Mechaleu. The truth fulfills the world; it comes to it alive, and falsehood destroys it, as we can see in these wonderful times that we live. Also, we need to sanctify Shabbos with speaking divrei Torah and songs. And Misha Aimer Sheker Lashon Hora Maita Kante, the Gemara says in the Erechin. So if you engage in Lashon Hora and falsehood, how can you fix that? Yasik b'Torah. So you should learn more Torah, and that will be nullified. Zeis Torah HaMetzora. What's the Torah HaMetzora? Maitzi Shem Ra. That's the notrikon of the word Mitzayra is Maitzi Shem Ra. Marpe Lashon. So he has got the healing is to cure with his tongue himself, right? And in Yaakov is the question in Reish Masechah Shavuos. It says the middle of B'divrei Sachreinos Ksiv Kasha Tzivcha Hashem Elokecha. In the last Luchais, after he went up, after they did the Chet HaEgel, he went up back to the mountain and came down with the Luchais on Yom Kippur. It says there, Kasha Tzivcha Hashem Elokecha, like your God commanded you. And we darshan it from the Gemara in Shabbos, Pei Zayin on base, Kasha Tzivcha, where? B'Morah. I commanded you in Morah, which is in the 6th Parshat also. Lama loy nemar came to divas rishainos. So why doesn't it say kashet tzivcha in the first lochais? And he gives the teretz. Well, we're going to give the Zera Shimshon gives an interesting teretz. Lefi ani is daiti. Nira the dafka b'dibros rechayna shaykh lemer kashet tzivcha b'mara. It's pertinent to say kashet tzivcha b'mara in the latter lochais. Why? Mashen can b'dibros rishainos. And the simple reason. The reason is Shahari Anu Yoidim Shepikoch Nefesh Deiches HaShabbos. The Gemara in Shabbos Kuf Lamed Beis Amud Aleph. The Pikoch Nefesh is Deiches Shabbos. You can do whatever you need to do to save a life on Shabbos. Okay, Shenitztavu Yisrael B'Morah al Shabbos. And when the Jewish people were commanded on Shabbos at Morah, right? Then they not stavu al Shmiras. They would need stavu al Gamal Chalalim al Sakanas Nefashis. So they were also commanded to desecrate the Shabbos if you need to for sakanas nefashos. V'shaper muchach nami mim smiches hapsukim, and we can understand that also from the hints in the psukim. It says sham sam leichalko mishpat. There I placed their rules and regulations. The hainu mitzvahs shenitztavu b'morah, the mitzvahs that I commanded you at Morah, v'samach lei v'yamar im shomaya tishma'u. Im Shemaya Tishma, if he says, well, if you listen to all of my commands, I won't put the diseases of the Egyptians on you. Even though I commanded you to keep the Shabbos, still no, okay, you got to keep Shabbos. But if it's a sick person, you can be Machal Shabbos. So they were commanded that already by Morah. When they came to Har Sinai, why wasn't it pertinent to say that in Shabbos? And when they got the first tablets, that would be understood that they should B'mechal Shabbos if there's a danger of death, life and death. Here's the trick, right? So if they hadn't sinned, so then nothing would be shoylet over them. They would rule over them, not the Yitzhahara. So what sickness? There would be no sickness. T'ksiv charus ala luchais. And the Gemara in the Zohar says, and chorus, atikei chorus ala chorus, imalachi ashoris ami Yitzhahara. So they would be free from all impositions of other powers on them. So if there's no Yitzhahara, then there's no death, and then there's no sickness. It's him misa b'lei chet, because there's no death. Ein misa b'lei chet, ein yisurim b'lei avon. The Gemara in Shabbos and Daf Nunei. They wouldn't be necessary to be Mechal Shabbos ever. But, unfortunately, they sinned. Like I commanded you at Morah, because it wasn't pertinent anymore. They were not going to be overpowered by the Yitzhahara or the Malach HaMavos. So therefore, in Morah, they were commanded that sometimes you might have to be Mechal Shabbos. Over here, there's no reason to be Mechal Shabbos because there won't be any sickness. But after they sinned with the Chet HaEgel, they were, unfortunately, went back to the old ways, and they were going to get sick and die and have a Yetzirah. And for in the second Uchais, it says, like I commanded you at Morah. Why was the decreed upon them sickness, death, etc.? Because they testified falsely against God. They said, Eila Elahecha Yisrael. So they pointed to the Egel and said, this are gods. This is our God. That's what it says. Lo sana b're'echo et shaker, right? In the second side of the luchos, don't testify falsely in your friend. Who's your friend referring to here? The Hainu Kadosh Baruch Hu, like it says in the Gemara in Shmos Rabbah. It's a pasuk, and Rashi brings it in the Gemara Shabbos also. Al reyacho v'reya avicho al tazayv. On the pasuk, on your friend and the friend of your father, don't forsake. Now that friend is talking about God. V'oid mikan yotza lono k'tzas remez v'tam lamadis nan v'reish perik arba de damai. This is another hint to what it says in the beginning of Damai in Mishnah Aleph. Look at the Pirush Rav over there. Shami ha'oritzos misyorim l'shaker b'Shabbos b'Yosef mi'b'cho. That Amaratzis, you can believe if the guy says that this is gemeistered, it's meistered already. If he says that on Shabbos, you can believe him. Why? Because they're afraid to say lies on Shabbos. I remember I once heard Rabbi Cheskel Levenstein, Zecher Tzadik B'Kodesh Baruch Hu, said, the halavai, I should be like Amoritz in the time of the Gemara. That's a madrega. Okay. The kasha the bishum avera acheres loy matzinu chiluk. We don't find this by any other sin, only by sheker. See, it's shaykh to Shabbos. The alam karchachot tzorich leimer the avera zu chamira tuva mi'einehem. This sin was very serious in their eyes to say sheker. Lavor alel b'Shabbos, and especially to be over on it on Shabbos. The fish keneged zocher yesh lo leisane b're'echo ad eit shaker, because they're parallel to one another on the opposite sides of the luchos. And everybody will have a wonderful Shabbos and be mikabel the Torah chadash and keep the Shabbos like it's supposed to be, and don't say divrei Torah and sing songs, miras, and elevate the Shabbos, and we'll all be zeichet me'ein olam haba. Kol tov.